What's up, guys? So, we got some pretty exciting stuff going on. Thought I'd show you what we're working on here. So, this is our test setup for our equipment. We have our Canon Rebel T7, which, by the way, does not have an audio jack, so you can't use your microphone. But luckily, the iPhone does have an appropriate plug-in that we can use here. And so we've got our tripods for our cameras. I added a backdrop because, why not? But we have our fill light, which is an LED light. It's adjustable. This is not our fill light. This is actually our backlight, so it would shine on the back of the subject, kind of creating a halo effect. And then we have our key light, which is our main light. By the way, this is a Skytex, and very lightweight and portable. All this folds up into basically nothing. And then another Skytex. This is actually the fill light, and it is also on its own little stand. And so basically, I'm just testing out some camera equipment for an upcoming project. I'm trying to make sure I can get everything set up the way I want it. And I think it's turning out pretty decent, if I do say so myself. I might post a little something later. So felt cute, might post later. Anyway, anyway, needless to say, I'm super excited and stoked about this. This is something that I've been working on, which, by the way, all of this is because I took a course called Content Creator. You can find it at contentcreator.com. And I highly recommend it if you are, planning on doing anything like social media video posting or YouTube, or even like for company stuff. If you're doing company videos that you need to shoot commercials or interviews or, vlogging or whatever, it's great. So I've really enjoyed the course so far. I'm almost done with it. Not quite. Still got a few more days to go. But yeah, I filmed some test footage with my cameras and lighting equipment all set up the way I think I need it, which, by the way, took a lot longer than I thought, considering I was like, oh, well, I'll just throw it up. No, it's actually, testing it out and everything was, anyway. So everything is good to go, and we are going to round up some footage here, and we'll be posting it. Okay, so this is test number 5 of my kind of camera and lighting setup. Again, key light is at a 45-degree angle from me, slightly above, pointing down at me, and this is actually a hard light. And then I have my fill light, which is further away, also slightly more than a 45, but it's further away. It has the diffuser on it, so it's actually a little bit softer on this side. And then I have my LED backlight behind me. I have added a backdrop, so then that way you're not just looking at a garage door. And I am going to attempt to talk about something that interests me for 2 minutes. So I've got my handy dandy stopwatch here. Something that really interests me is cave diving. I love the technical aspect of the sport. I love the skills that are involved. I really like the fact that, you're seeing places that only a very small amount of people, considering the world population, will ever see in their life. And if you're lucky, you might actually get to, explore some places that no one's ever seen. So I actually started cave diving in 2019 with my brother and my dad. My dad had been a cave diver for years, and he went with some friends of ours, and he decided, hey, maybe my kids would like to join me in cave diving, because me and my brother had actually been diving from a very young age. The earliest memories I have of diving was my dad let me put on the aluminum 80 with the reg and a mask and the VC, and I actually just went off the end of a boat ramp into this like just brown water, but I thought it was the coolest thing ever. Because I mean, here I am underwater breathing like a fish. And, of course, at a boat ramp, people drop stuff. So, I mean, like I'm finding things, and it was amazing. And so I already loved diving. I dove the Oriskany with my sister and brother and dad. And we're a diving family, by the way. So, anyways, kind of my dad was doing the cave diving, and so he basically invited me and my brother to go learn how to cave dive, and we jumped at it. And so the first cave dive that I can remember doing was Little River. And that was an amazing cave. It was so cool because you had to drop down this chute, and it was, I believe they call it the syndrome shaft. And I mean, it was basically this corkscrew that you went down and down, and then when you hit the bottom, it just opened up into this dissolution tunnel, and it was amazing. And the water was crystal clear, but the flow was ripping. And it was such a cool experience to have and to share with my family. And and then after that, I just fell in love with the sport. I mean, it was the most incredible thing because here you have all these technical skills that you have to learn, and all this equipment that you're using, and you're always tinkering with it. I'm a gear junkie, so of course I'm always excited to mess with new stuff, and try and tweak it to the way I like it and make it better. And that's the other thing about cave diving is it's a sport that you can continue to grow in, because you're never going to be like, I mean, yeah, you might be top tier like Ed Sorensen, but even Ed Sorensen still learns and grows. And that's the great thing about it, is that you're never finished. It's always like, well, what's something I can do to make it better? What's something that I can tweak or adjust, or it's an ever evolving thing, and it pushes you to grow too. It pushes you as a person to you know admit your limitations and say, okay, that's something I need to work on. For instance, buoyancy is a critical factor in cave diving, because you have to be very comfortable in maintaining buoyancy and horizontal trim. And it's not something that comes easy to everybody. I mean, I know first couple times I did it, I was bouncing. And I mean, this was me diving for years, but up until that point, buoyancy was never a big problem, because I was open water. I didn't have to worry about kicking up silt or anything.